Okay, so this is part two of what deku was a todoroki. Where we left off, I let them go to the exam. I really don't want to get into too much detail about that, but all I'll say is Deku basically just burned the zero corner like it was nothing. All he did is basically flick a little piece of fire at it, and the fire just spread around its whole body. And the zero pointer tried like pitting out with water and like um using like fireproof stuff to like make it go out, but the Deku's quirk basically burns right through it since it is like stronger than most flames. It basically just burns right through it. So Deku will have to find a whole new material so he doesn't burn his clothes while using his quirk because sometimes he does spread flames around his whole body so people can't touch him. Anyway, we can skip the 2 weeks of training because we already know how Deku's trains. And Deku, he tries to put up more mental blocks to try blocking out what I am going to call the beast, which is actually what it's called in the TV show. But he tries to block out what he's going to be calling the beast because he doesn't know what else to call it, and it's completely not working. But he is like trying his best to block out the voice, and he even told Todoroki about it and All Might about this voice. But it is All Might and Todoroki really couldn't do nothing about it, so he just dealt with it and kept moving on. And then from there, he just kept going, and then let me see, like from that was like over the 6 months of training. He just tried finding a way to stop the voice, but he really like couldn't find no way to stop it. So he starts doing research on this place called. Me trying to remember the name. Uh, uh, I can't remember the name. Uh, fuck. Um, I'm gonna call it. For now, I'm just going to call it uh creek. He tries finding more on the word creek, and because he kept hearing the beast say like he doesn't like the rules of creek and he needs to go back to the magical spring at creek pretty soon, and he just kept hearing the beast speak of this place called creek. So with that, he starts doing research and he finds books about this place called Creek, which there's only two books, and he tried looking up the author, but the author was like nowhere to be found. He tried finding more books about this Creek place, and he couldn't find no more books. So he only had two books. So he would read those books like all the time, trying to find any clues. He would even bring them to school so he can try finding any clues, like why he's at school. And it got to the point where he got kind of lost in trying to find what this creek place was. So with that, I'm going to leave that off to the side for now, and let's go to his first day of school. For the exam, well, he can already throw stuff in space. Like, he started trying to throw stuff in space when he was the age of 3. So, if we know that, he can just easily throw the ball in space without using any of his, without using his quirk at all. For the, uh long mean for the race, he can easily just use his quirk to hold everybody back and simply walk across the field, making everybody have a like less of how much time he has. So grip test, he can throw stuff in space, so that's really easy. Long jump, he can use his quirk to float because like why am I not going to let him do that? And then long, like jumping back and forth, he just uses his quirk to make him lighter so he doesn't get tired. And so his place went from last place. Let's give him like fourth place because I don't want to give him too high, but I don't want to give him too low at the same time. I kind of want to kick Mineta out. Mineta out. I finally remembered his name for Cinch Show. So I can never get I can never get that. No, not mind. Another dude with the like quirk that allows him to take over people's minds. I can never get his name right. Like no matter how much I try. But basically, I'm going to let him take Minette's spot because him and Deku are going to be like good friends because he can talk to Deku without taking over Deku's mind. And because basically the way that his quirk is going to work, anytime he talks to somebody, and if he asks them a question, anytime like his quirk basically activates automatically. So basically, anytime he asks somebody a question, he would take over their mind, and then he would have to use his he would have to stop using his quirk, and then the person would forget that he even asked that question. So he really couldn't have a conversation. But one day while he was in class with Deku, he accidentally asked Deku a question, and Deku just like answered without getting under his spell. So well, not his spell, his mind reading quirk or whatever. So he tried it a few more times, and he like never got under. He never got under the influence of his quirk, so he decided to become friends with Deku to try to figure out why Deku won't like his why Deku is immune to his quirk basically. And everything else happens the same, like Deku saving Deku saving Uraka, Ida, Ida saying that Deku is better than him because he figured out the secret thing about the exam. Deku honestly taking the credit because he kind of already knew about the secret part of the exam because he could read like all the teachers' minds. And President Mike was thinking about it like the whole time, so he doesn't accidentally say that out loud. He was thinking about it, and then that basically is all that happens. I didn't set a timer, so I guess I'll go to a day 2 and day 3 of them at school, and I will get into Creek. I'll talk about Creek some more on I don't know what day, but any day. So day 2 of Deku going to UA, he does the villains versus heroes. I'm going to let him get on a team with Todoroki. Todoroki basically freezes the whole place, and the enemy team is going to be Bakugo and let's give Bakugo Froppy. Uh, so Bakugo and Froppy, she just uses her tongue to like stick to the ceiling, and her tongue gets stuck to the ceiling because she tried using her tongue to like pull herself out up from the ice, but her tongue got stuck to the ice, making her basically completely useless. And Bakugo, he uses his explosions, burns right through the ice, and then as you already told uh Todoroki that like is his quirk. So like that thing is never going to happen because Deku already like just said it's your quirk. Your quirk is called icy, like half hot, half cold, and like it's your quirk, not his. So he already uses. So Todoroki basically has three quirks, and Deku basically has two, well, three quirks too. So they basically both have three quirks instead of Todoroki only having two quirks for now. They already have three since Todoroki does use his like fire side. So Todoroki is using his fire side to stay warm in like the frozen over building, and he's making like ice spikes up here in the hallway out of nowhere. Deku, his body really never does get cold because he has his flames like uh basically like spreading around him in his body 24/7. Like it's not like they're actually active and they're not at their like full like will not go out, but he's basically warm blooded, so he does like his body temperature is always warm. I don't know if that's the correct term for warm blooded, but he is. So he like just goes upstairs. Like they start walking upstairs looking for the bomb while Bakio is trying to avoid ice spikes to get downstairs. Bakio finally gets downstairs, like he gets to the second floor, and Todoroki and Deku are already like right out the stairs. So they just start fighting, and like they're just like fighting. And I don't really want to get into a fighting scene right now. Let's just say Deku pits his flames in Bakio's flames. Basically, like he throws his flames at Bakio's explosion, and Bakio's explosion turns white. Then the gold, then it turns gold, and then Bakio basically loses all control of his explosions. He tries to stop using his quirk, but for some reason, like his quirk won't like deactivate. So basically, what Deku did is he put a little piece of his telekinesis quirk into his flames, and then when he threw his flame into Bakio's explosion, and as Bakio tries to turn off his quirk, Deku basically forced to activate his quirk using his quirk. And so Deku just made Bakio basically fly into a wall, and Bakio is basically like full times 10 his quirk hit into a wall, and he basically broke right through it. And now he's running back up the stairs, but Todoroki already blocked off the exit, and he can't move his hands to get into the right angle because his hands were like behind his back so he can fly, and he can't like because the pressure from the explosion won't allow him to like move his hand to start exploding the ice. So he's basically stuck outside, and they just walk all the way up to the bomb. They see I think her name is Sue. Uh, they see Froppy, but I'm pretty sure her name is Sue, but I'm not gonna say that because I'm not sure. They see Froppy just like with her tongue stuck on the ceiling and her feet stuck to the floor. Deku wanted no, I'm gonna say Todoroki like wanted to touch it, but Deku said don't touch it, and then Todoroki looked at Deku with puppy eyes, but and Deku just said I said don't touch it. Deku touches the bomb and basically walks downstairs. After he heard Hero Team wins, he just walks downstairs. And this episode might be a little bit short, but the reason I'm going to let it be however long it is because I wanted to ask if y'all want a like Valentine's Day special because it's Valentine's where I'm at and I don't know what I'm going to do for this special, but we'll see. I just wanted to ask if y'all do. Okay, this is Shadow Master signing out.